Welcome to Between the Mics podcast, where we will talk about anything and everything. Who knows? We might talk about sports games that we're watching, what's going on in our lives outside of podcasting and streaming, motivational things that we want to share, the live streaming that we're doing, the games that we're playing, and who knows, probably some tech. But all I know is that there will be lots of laughs and great stories told. Between the mics, you have myself, known as TheAwesomeDado online, or you can just call me Mike, and my co-host, known as Flinty Dog online, or you can call him AJ. We appreciate and are excited to have you here and joining us and listening to us as we take you through our chaotic mayhem of thoughts between the mics. Welcome on in, gang, to a family episode. This is episode number 4 of Between the Mics podcast. You have myself and Flinty Dog hanging out, talking some shit, and just seeing what we can get into this evening. So welcome on in. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Oh, hanging, thinking about some of the stupid stuff that's happening in the world, like, I don't know, Logan Paul and Mike Tyson.
Dude, I really hope he gets his shit rocked.
It's like, what did I see? I saw this thing that was like, if you ask a baker to be a baker, they're always a baker. So why are you asking a baker to be a baker? Like,
I mean,
he's gonna mess you up, dude. Like,
I give to Jake Paul. I mean, he definitely surprised me with some of his boxing skills.
sure.
I don't know if it's money influenced or not. I don't know where some people sit on that fence. Because there's some fights, like, I don't understand how he won.
Mm-hmm.
Because beginner's luck, maybe. Like,
Right.
you and I've thrown a few.
I made some very precarious landed shots. Yes.
Yes. I've spent some time in the boxing ring. I've done that for a little while. I've done a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, but I'm also not going out there poking a bear going, hey, one of the maddest.
That's not a bear.
It's a tiger.
That is a starving tiger. Even, how old is he? 50 some years old?
Oh, that dude's old.
That dude old. Still has it.
Yeah, have you seen some of the videos of him just practicing? 57 years old, Mike Tyson is. And, like, 220 pounds of just pure many years of boxing. That's all he's done.
Have you ever seen that episode of Family Guy where Stewie genetically mutates a pig? And Brian's like, holy hell, what is that? And it's just the pig going oink, and then it just punches Brian through the window.
Nope, never. I don't. Nope.
I'll have to share. I will have to share that video because this is exactly what's going to happen to Logan Paul. I would give it to him. He might need a bigger cut for stepping in the ring with him.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But if Mike Tyson loses, it definitely is money motivated.
Oh, 100%. And if Mike Tyson loses, that's going to, ruin his career that he has lived upon, getting called out like that, and then getting beat by a kid. No offense to him. I'm not going to step in a ring with him.
I would.
That's just calling him out.
Yeah.
The speed of Mike Tyson is insane.
Dude, his sparring is me fighting. That's like, I've watched the comparison of both of them sparring, right. And I feel bad for his coach, Mike Tyson's coach.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, he doesn't when he practices, it's full blown. I mean, I'm sure he's holding back a little bit, but he's not at the same time. It's not shadow boxing, it's boxing at that point. And having a little bit of experience in it, I can tell you that dude is quick. Quick. And his shadow moves and his sidestep with the right jab. Ooh, boy. Let me tell you. That's gonna hurt like a bitch.
I mean, dude, he went against Woodley
Mm-hmm.
and won.
Right.
I don't understand that either. Because Woodley, he I mean, he was still one of the great fighters, but I mean, whenever you look in the greatest boxers of all time, it's going to be Mike Tyson's picture going to come up and pop up every single time.
Right. And doesn't Mike Tyson have like, isn't his, I'll look it up as I'm trying to figure it out here, but if memory serves me correctly, I think he had like a crazy record of only losing less than 10 fights in his entire career. I'm quickly trying to, 6. Google tells me 6. 6 losses out of 58 total fights. Like, I'm sorry, excuse me? That's impressive.
Hold on. Did you read what's next to that?
I did not, no.
44 knockouts.
Oh. Yeah, that's a hell of a percentage to win by. 44 knockouts.
So, hold on, I'm just going to put this out there. If he beats Mike Tyson probably should he's probably never going to show his face again.
Right. Quick math tells me that's 85% of the matches that he won were won by knockouts.
Oh man.
You wanna just be like, hey Mike Tyson, I want to tussle. Fuck you. Like,
I mean, what is Jake Paul's record?
Good question.
9-1.
Okay.
And 6 KOs. So I mean, if you technically add that up, they're both right around the same percentage wise.
Yep.
But I'm going to say if you go to Mike Tyson level, after you get get in the ring with Tyson, if you win, I want you to go against Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo, yeah.
Because Kimbo's a dirty fighter. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, right, yeah.
But
it's street fighting. He's a street fighter.
Yes. I want you to get in the octagon, not the boxing ring. Get in the octagon with Kimbo Slice.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you beat him, that's the next one you have to beat.
But the only problem is didn't Kimbo die?
Did he?
Yeah, I think he died.
Shit,
so, hypothetically, you could get Kimbo.
I mean, depending on the the results.
Yeah, I think Kimbo Slice died, bro. But that's okay. I'm sure that there's somebody out there.
He passed in 2016, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow, I thought he was still alive. Where have I been?
Under a rock in the Carolinas. No. But yeah, I mean, you could put him in the ring with any, let's see here.
Dude, he went against Mayweather.
Right.
And won.
Who went against Mayweather and won?
Jake Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's, I mean, okay.
That was definitely money motivated.
I give him credit there. Who? Silva, Anderson Silva. That would be an interesting one to see.
Oh, yeah. Silva was one of my favorite Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys.
Mean. Like, just in the ring. Like, he did not care.
Well, while you have Google up, type
Yeah.
in he was one of my not Brock Lesnar. I just had a brain fart. I loved watching him fight.
That's really hard to type in and figure out who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, him getting in the ring with a boxer that unfortunately stopped his career because he filed bankruptcy. Still, the man has an astounding record, and his reputation precedes him even to this day. He hasn't boxed since 2003, Tyson, something like that. So 20 years, we still talk about Mike Tyson and his fighting. Yeah, he might have bit somebody's ear off, but that's besides the point. Now, I suppose.
I mean, he still has it because he never left the ring though. He might have his actual last boxing match might have been 2003, 2006, or whenever it was.
Right.
He still stays in there. He's constantly coaching people. He has his own gym.
Sure.
So, he never really gave it up. Like some of the superstars that transition from like WWE to MMA to the big screen.
Right. Jake is from Cleveland. They're Cleveland boys, and we're from Ohio, so we're not even like backing or going against the Cleveland guy. It's just when you talk talent to talent, and mind you, I personally have no professional experience except what we might have thrown down in a backyard or outside of a bar somewhere. But I don't know. If I had to bet, if I was running a line, my opinion would be that Mike Tyson's going to win.
I honestly hope he does, in my personal opinion. Because, just coming from like the internet and watching Jake Paul blow up, and all of a sudden one day he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick this up now," after getting absolute shit on about his Suicide Forest stuff. Basically, that's basically whenever he took a step back, and then all of a sudden he changed his view of making stupid, funny videos on YouTube, and was it Vine and TikTok?
Yeah, way back when. Yep.
To all of a sudden he picked up fighting, boxing, and all of a sudden now he's the Golden Glove boy.
Right, and they're two different weight classes as well, if I'm not mistaken. Tyson is a heavyweight, and Paul is a cursor weight. It's just, but it's a junior heavyweight. But still, you're fighting two different classes. That's like having in wrestling, from my understanding. Again, I have what I would have pictured it as is you have a 200-pound heavyweight wrestler going against the 150. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a different fight there. Plus, you have 30 years of experience of gap between the two.
That's going to be the make or break point. But I finally remembered my boxer's name. He started off in Pride.
Okay.
Pride kickboxing and everything like that. Alistair Overeem.
Alistair, I don't even know how to spell that. Oh.
Overeem. Yeah, Overeem.
Got it.
Basically. He's a big dude. He kicked Brock Lesnar in the upper thigh. And let's just say Lesnar tapped after getting kicked by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lesnar's a big dude. He actually had a pretty decent career.
Sure.
He got in the ring with this kid at the time. I think he was 20-some years old. Kicked him once and made a grown man cry because from that kick, he tore, I think, 3 muscles just from one kick.
Ooh. That's a hell of a kick.
Lesnar was out for probably about a year and a half after that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I stand corrected. He started at 19
Oh,
in MMA.
really? What was that show that used to be on TV that
Bully
like
Beatdown. I already know where you're going.
no, it was that one, yeah, that one too. But it was like it's where Kimbo got into the UFC. Like he came onto that
No, the
TV
Ultimate
show.
Fighter.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah,
Where
they had two different coaches. So they had like Kimbo Slice and like Jake Shield,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'd have their own team. And
Yep.
then they'd bring in like amateurs around the like their town or whatever.
Right. Yep.
And they'd bring in and then they'd have their own bouts and go on, and then the coaches would go against each other.
Yes. Yeah, I remember
Great
that.
show.
I used to watch that show over and over and over again. And that was like the one show that I'd be like, oh my God, my show's coming on. Like a 30-year-old woman.
That's how I was with Bully Beatdown.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Because Jason Mayhem Miller, he was a great fighter. A lot of people shit on him.
Mm-hmm.
He created his own gym, Mayhem Monkeys. Like, he was known to be like the goofy guy in the fight.
Right.
He always had like a pink stripe in his hair, but he would choke everybody out in the most ridiculous ways.
That is true. That was a good show. I forgot about that show until you brought it up. I have to go on YouTube and see if I can find the old episodes now. Make me feel better.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was one of my partners on the ambulance. I think we were talking about Bully Beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think we need to bring that show back.
Yeah, I agree. I
work on some
agree.
of this soft generation crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know we don't talk about too much political things, but just a little cool little fact: South Carolina passed Constitution carry.
They did.
Yeah.
Just one of the other states that decided to do that. And we went to I think I told you guys in another podcast or in one of the streams that Mrs. Dado and I had the opportunity to go to a comedy event this past week. And it was funny. One of the so you have the opener, the feature, and then the headliner, right? So we went to like a legit comedy event, and the feature, the guy in the middle. So opener's up and coming, feature is relatively known, and then the headliner's like your big name. And the feature was doing this whole bit on like kids. And I'm sitting there losing it because he's like, we don't tell our kids no anymore. We just don't tell them no. We sit there and negotiate with them. And I was just like, oh my God, that hits home. Because I'm the parent that's like, no. Because our parents always are like, nope, you don't get to do that. Why? Because I said so. No debates, no arguments, no negotiating with terrorists. The answer is no.
Yep.
It just it just made me laugh. And like you said, it's like nobody tells their kids no. The softness or whatever is I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parent.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep you're trying to keep them as straight as narrow and out of trouble as you can. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was funny because the visual that this guy was doing, he's like getting down on his hands and knees and like looking at you in the audience. He's like, are we cool? Are we friends? Do we want to be friends today? He goes, when I was a kid, my mom and dad would tell me to get out of bed right the fuck now. But you, little buddy, I want to make sure you're awake and ready to go to school. And I'm like, oh my God. That is too funny.
I mean, that's relatable. I mean, you have basically two choices with kids. Either let them walk all over you and be the soft, gentle, yes parent and be their friend, or you could be, there's three avenues technically, I'm sorry. Or you'd be somewhere in the middle.
Get more socks and fingers out.
Yeah. I was reading something on Google um, and mid thought, and you could be that strict parent where they're going to hide everything from you and do this or do that, but you could be right in the middle where you
Oh
can
yeah.
still be like their friend, their confidant, but you have to enforce the rules.
Oh yeah. There's no negotiating. I mean, I'll give you a general explanation, but when I tell you not to do something, there's a reason. This is my reason that I feel like explaining to you. Other than that, this is the dictatorship of dad. Like, this is what's happening.
Right. I mean, right before the podcast time, I mean, like, well, I got to argue with my son now because he to stay up past bedtime.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, to his credit, I will say with the time change, I get why he was like, I'm not tired. Well, yeah, okay. But still, it's bedtime. Get in bed. We're putting this down.
Which is, yeah, that is understandable. But and how old now?
7.
7. Yeah. I mean, his body doesn't even understand it. We
Right. I know
understand
mine's
it.
all messed up.
I mean, unfortunately, that is one of the reasons why I missed episode 3. I thought I had a whole nother day beforehand.
Yeah, you took it to a whole nother level. We all lost an hour. You lost a day.
I will admit, the past 3 days have been like one of the best 3 days, but also humbling, and just it was a good 3 days, but it was very rough.
Sure.
I finally got off of I've been working with the department that I'm now. I did a year and a half basically volunteer with my department here that I currently work for now, and then I'm going on a year and 5 months here. And I hit some bumpy roads. I had some issues passing some tests, and I finally got off of my probation period. So that moved me
Nice.
into a different rank, and I get to do some things. I got an award. I got a life safety award last night at our award banquet. So it's been a pretty good and humbling
Yeah, that's
3
awesome.
days.
Can you explain to the audience what the Life Safety Award is in general terms, and like why would somebody be granted that award?
So I didn't do all of the actual. It's the life saving award. I do have to stand corrected because I do mess up my speaking sometimes. But there was a structure fire that we responded to. I was off duty. I just got out of the shower. I heard it go out. I usually don't respond off duty all too much until I hear like a size up. And a size up is basically like really on fire, not on fire, technically, in layman's terms. I don't want to go too technical. There was a lady who was bedridden that was in the house. Her house caught on fire. She was entrapped in the house. I responded off duty. I went to our headquarters and picked up a pickup truck. I was not part of the initial save. I cannot give the guys who made entry, made the save. I cannot give those guys more than enough credit. I got basically a participation trophy because I showed up on scene.
Oh, gotcha.
I was there to help put out the fire. These guys worked her all the way to the hospital, and she made it out alive because of this is what our teamwork did as a whole. The whole incident lasted a half an hour. We had one of the quickest response times.
Wow, that is fast.
Yeah, because like as she was getting pulled, she was out of the building whenever I was going up to the building. So I was there. It was a group effort. Everybody that was in that group got the life saving award for said action. It was very humbling.
Yeah, and I mean, even though you weren't a part of the rescue, you still played a vital part. And I'm sure this is probably what the battalion leaders or whoever provided or, nominated your team for the award thought, is that even though those guys that did the actual saving or recovery, I don't know the term, so I apologize, but they were still a critical part of putting the fire out and making sure they could get out and protecting everybody
Yes.
else too. So that's amazing. That's awesome, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about it because I don't
Sure.
know
Yeah.
how to handle getting a good job for doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But
But still.
with all the experience I have in doing this,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't, like, if you picked up any of the firefighter books or anything like that, you want to talk about textbook.
Sure.
The apparatus placement was perfect. The cruise placement was perfect. Like, in and out, rescued, CPR in progress, and transport, fire knocked down to overhaul. I know I'm talking probably mumbo jumbo to a few people.
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll
But
keep up. We have
it is
subtitles.
it is textbook, and I was so
Sure.
proud of being there. I was proud of everybody that was on scene, of
Absolutely.
just how everything worked out. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to hear that lady was able to make it out and survive, that's what it's all about, right? That's what you guys do. Screw the
Yes,
building. The building's not the concern, it's the people inside of it.
yeah. And our concern is like, yeah, obviously life safety,
Sure.
property preservation,
Mhm.
and like, yeah, she might have lost her home, but she has her life.
Sure. 100%.
And the changing in construction, I mean, you've seen it. You're in the construction.
Mhm.
You see it. Things are not built like they used to. I
Sure.
will say, she got lucky with how old her home was. I'm not
Sure.
saying it in a bad way. I'm saying just the way it was built.
Yeah, gave her that much more time. Gave you guys that much more time.
Because there's a big difference between houses that were back in the day where, except for basically Ohio, we have a lot of, there's balloon framing, there's, like standard framing,
Mhm.
2x4 walls. It's just, it it changes from, you had anywhere from sometimes 13 to 20 minutes to get out of the building
Mhm.
safely and everything. Now you're down to about 7.5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, the flame spread is insane.
Yes, it is nuts.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's
And
what I tell guys that are on my team that have had challenges, I will say, with local fire departments before. So for those of you that don't know, the fire department will walk any your homes are it's a little different story, but any big commercial building, your schools, your hospitals, your drug marts, your whatever, anything commercial, the fire department will walk that building before they allow any patrons to go in it, meaning that they have the last say that that building is safe enough for their community to go in. And there's been times that my team has been challenged by the fire department because it's even the smallest thing in general people's mind, I would say. We're like, oh, come on, man. Like, it's a CO detector in one small space of a building. Nope. That's critical. And it could save
yep,
somebody's life. And we have to respect the fact that that's what those guys are there to do.
yeah, we got to think about, like you're saying, like the CO detector in like one small building. You don't realize that we think about every type of flow path,
Sure.
unilateral, bilateral. There's so much science into it that one little corner could be just the perfect amount of, got enough back pressure in there that everything's just going to sit in that corner, and whoever's office or space that is,
Yep.
they're going to be in jeopardy. And what
For
gets
sure.
people every time, and a lot of people are going to be shocked, are those exit lights.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, every time, because they're not placed right. They don't have the right arrows. They don't illuminate. Not the right height. Oh yeah, I live it, man.
Oh yeah, we get people on that all the time. They're like, well,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a sign. I'm like, no, it has to operate.
Has to. Has
Because
to.
if you got smoke bellowing down from the ceiling
Mm-hmm.
and your vision's starting to skew, I don't know if anybody's been around a bonfire or anything like that, and you get smoke in your eyes, it starts burning. Think about that as you're in an open area. Think about it an enclosed area.
Sure.
Just put a
Yeah.
box with a bonfire in it, and then you have to try to see that exit sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge.
For sure. Or yeah, it takes it takes a minute for a lot of people to realize the severity of what that life safety inspection is. Or understanding that, at least in this area, and Flinty can probably provide insight down south, that every one of those buildings in your community also gets reviewed yearly by your fire department.
Yep, we do annual. Basically, we have basically pre-plans is what we call them. Every fire
Mm-hmm.
department, we have a list of every commercial building, their hazards, like Walmart. Just a little fun fact: Walmart doesn't have to have an SDS, a safety data sheet. They do.
Really?
They have it. It's weird. So they do have to have it technically, but like
Sure.
they can get away with it because they're under a certain amount of pounds. So like
Ah,
all of their
gotcha.
trucks doesn't have to have hazmat like symbols on them, but yet
Hmm.
there's 400 chemicals in the back of that truck, like
Sure.
propane cylinders for like your small little camping stove, to bleach and ammonia. That that makes bad things.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes things go kapow.
Yeah, it's not good, and all because it's under a weight. They don't have to
Hmm.
put any
Interesting.
placards on the trucks,
Yeah,
so
because
we
of the
have to go
quantity,
in.
they put
Yes,
like, if they go over 6 pallets, for easy math, 6 pallets of said camping propane tanks. They went 7. Now they got to be placard.
yes,
That's what you're saying. But they're only
yep,
putting 6.
yep. And then that also means the driver has to be trained in a
Yep.
hazmat. They have to have a lot more paperwork.
Sure.
DOT has to be notified,
Yep.
and the local fire departments need to know what is in their area, because we need to know if it's water soluble or it's going to like
Sure. You gotta know how
if
to
it's
fight
going to
it.
react. Yeah, because we keep foam, AFFF foam on our fire trucks, all the way up to 6%. I mean, this is just fighter talk. I do apologize for everybody, but you start thinking about this stuff. If you start understanding, start picking out what I'm saying. Every railroad car, everything has a purpose on why it's lettered, and it's not graffiti, but there's
For sure.
placards. We have a pre-plan. Excuse me. A pre-plan for everything in our district,
Sure.
and we have to do that annually just in case something changes, like the say power power wash company comes in, buys a commercial building, and they're storing a whole bunch of different chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
We had to deal with this up north of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure washer company came in, and there's a lot of different chemicals that they keep that
Oh yeah.
you know it's strange, but they keep like bleach, they keep mildew. I can't remember the actual name off the top of my head, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, morotic acids, all that stuff.
Yes, thank you. And they didn't have an SDS, a safety data sheet for
Oof.
us, and they fought us. It went all the way up to court.
Wow. All because you're
And
just trying to
then,
protect the people that are around the building that they're storing shit in.
yeah, and what's crazy now for all of you, everything like that, the stuff that is in your vape juice is highly volatile. That
Really?
the one fire that is I think in Chicago last week, was in a vape store, and the explosion from it was the
I did hear about that.
the vape juice. I'm having a blank on what it's called.
But there's something in there that that
It's just very
explodes.
yes.
But
The
there's
propylene glycol.
well,
That
anything
is
with glycol that
highly
makes me think about it.
yes. That is highly flammable.
Nuts.
And
That
they
is
keep it
nuts.
in their warehouse or their vape store
Mm-hmm.
by the 55-gallon drums.
Oof. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah. There's 2 in my district, and they have it just sitting in a 55-gallon drum.
Mm-hmm.
So next time anybody's taking a blueberry crush vape, just think.
There might be a firefighter having to fight the warehouse somewhere.
Yeah. That was a little tangent. I do apologize. I'm
No,
very,
no.
very
You're
passionate
passionate
about
about it.
this job.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you get so passionate about it that you get lost in it. You said like the past 3 days that's, consumed you, which is fair. Our jobs consume all of us. I am curious. I don't know when it came out though, but I did notice this weekend, and I know that you're a Fallout guy, but did you see that Amazon's coming out with a Fallout TV show?
Oh, I am very aware.
Oh yeah, what are your thoughts? Tell me what you think about the Fallout TV show.
I have high hopes for it, honestly. I cannot. I'm not like I'm just stumbling across my words over it because I am. Yeah, I'm just excited about it because they got the Brotherhood of Steel, which anybody who's actually ever played Fallout knows that's the best guild to get into in Fallout.
I'll be honest with the listeners. I've never played Fallout except for like watching people stream it. So I'm very curious to get Flinty's take because you said you played all of them?
I've played every single one, at least 2 or 3 times play through each.
Huh. That's
Yep.
that's impressive.
I am currently also, now that I finally got my PC up and running, I am replaying Fallout, and it is hilarious going through with mods this time.
So
But
it's
the
coming out.
characters,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the characters are phenomenal. The only weird thing is like the just from the previews,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan on like the vault hunter, like the vault dwellers, as they're called, people that have been in the
Okay.
vault. On how like I guess it's gonna be her husband. I'm going to take it in the beginning. Like, oh, I'm scared for you. You don't need to do this type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the vaults that you come out of on any Fallout game, you're the only one left. Everybody else is pretty much deceased.
So they're expounding upon like having some type of relationship at the beginning.
Yes, which I think it's an interesting take to be
Sure.
100% real. It's just being a Fallout fan. It was kind of weird seeing like, oh, be careful out there.
You're right. Yeah. No, there was nobody to tell me to be careful. I had to figure it out on my own, at
Yeah,
least from what I'm gathering.
I was getting attacked by a rad rat trying to beat him with a steel pipe in Fallout New Vegas, screaming at the top of my lungs because I didn't know what to do, and the rat was the size of my dog.
Right. Right. Getting attacked.
But I'm actually really excited for it. It seems very promising. They they got some really good actors coming through,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna say it again. I'm excited to see what the Brotherhood of Steel. I have a feeling they're gonna be the bad guys,
Okay.
but they're not.
Well,
They're there
curious.
to yeah. I'm curious to see, but the
Yeah.
animation of the wow, the power armor. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
You're not or are excited?
Oh, I am. I am.
It's to see what, a game that you've been playing for so many years come to life in a TV show. And it says that it's going to come out on April 12th. So we'll have to circle back with Flinty and see what his thoughts are on the first episode at least. And maybe we'll circle back with him again on what his full-fledged thoughts were. So Fallout, I'm doing a quick search. The first original Fallout came out in 1997,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up to a recent release of 2021 of Fallout 76 Steel Rain.
Yeah. So, do you know about like seasons
Yeah.
in video games? So basically, like the Steel or whatever, they have different seasons in 76,
Gotcha.
and my base is awesome. By the way, it is multiplayer.
Is it?
It is.
Maybe we'll add that to the list of the games to stream.
I think we should. I think it would be an adventure for all your followers to. I mean, I'll start fresh. I will start fresh with you, and we could build up going. You know, at least I could give
Yeah,
you survival tips on the way.
sure. I'd be down
It's
for
not
that.
it's not a hard game until you play on realistic.
Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah, I've never played any of it. I've only seen some gameplay on Twitch and YouTube. I've never touched one of these games. But I am curious with like the show coming out and hearing how much you like it. I am curious about it.
My screensaver on my PC and my phone are both Fallout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you more than like the game.
Oh yeah, dude! It's been one of the greatest series of games I've ever played. I've already like I don't know how to say pre-ordered it, I guess, on Amazon. Like I already like got the subscription for it and like ready. Like I have it to where it's going to alert me in
When they
April.
drop when they drop the
Yeah,
season or a new episode. That's awesome.
yeah. I hope it does more than some of these new shows that only do us. Obi-Wan, like I'm a big Star Wars nerd. Obi-Wan, they need to do more of that, which I heard they're supposed to. The Mandalorian, there's so much to build on that,
Sure.
and they just stop.
Yeah, I don't get why they do that. I mean, it takes you all the way back to like our childhood, right? And the movies that came out in that time. Like if you think back, some of the movies that I recall coming out when we were in high school, 2008 to 2012, roughly, right? The the Dark Knight Rises, those both came out in that timeline. Transformers, The Dark Moon or Dark Side of the Moon came out. Um, the A-Team. I mean, all of these heavy hitter. Iron Man 1 and 2 came out. Like what? And now they're just they start something and I feel like they give up on it.
I think they're starting to run out of ideas. That's like because we came out hard out of the gate, like you just said. Like we had Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, in
The
the
new Dark Knight series,
Transformer.
yeah.
Yeah, the Transformers. I will say I'm a fan of the new Batman.
Like with Twinkle Toes.
Yes, I am a very big fan of the new one because he actually does play Bruce Wayne very well.
He does.
I, I can't take it away from him.
I give that credit. The way that they portrayed Batman in that movie was definitely the dark side of Batman. The the investigator, the hiding in the shadows, not just crime fighting, but trying to actually solve the mystery and kind of give you like a psychological thriller like that. I truly enjoyed that too.
Yeah, like actually being the detective
Right.
instead of like, just sitting in the Dark Knight Rises and all that stuff. Like he did a little bit of detective work, but he just kind of stumbled across
Sure.
stuff and went on the Bruce Wayne adventures.
Mm-hmm. Which were great, by the way. Great.
Yeah, they were great movies. I'm just going to put a very unpopular opinion, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. What is his name? Joaquin something or whatever.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
His Joker sucked.
I think that you had to understand what they were trying to go for. Like if you were trying to get the Joker that we have seen in the past, even all the way back to when Jack Nicholson played the Joker, that's a completely different than what this take of the Joker was with Joaquin Phoenix. I like it simply because it's a deranged side of the Joker. Like we
Heath Ledger's Joker.
It was good. It was
That
probably
right
one of the
there
best.
was the best. Unfortunately, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we could ever replace that, but we need to stop. Like Jared Leto, I'm sorry, bud. Terrible fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. You're not a pretty boy. No. Just no.
No.
But Joaquin, his Joker, I understood the backstory of like building Joker and like how he snapped, and
Sure.
I was not a fan of it.
That's fair.
I did not like it. Now they're adding Harley Quinn. Technically, yeah, it's going to be the next Harley Quinn.
Huh.
They're going to add her into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're taking a deeper dive into the realm, like with the Batman and then Joker. The newer, they're taking a deep dive and trying to hit people's feels with it, or try to make it not just an action thriller, which I can appreciate. But
yes, on that side, then now that you say something like that, yes, I do appreciate the character building.
Sure.
I 100% just find a different actor. I don't like him.
That's what it is. It's the actor. It's not the concept of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, he does play a deranged person very well. I mean, I just, if we're gonna do that, they found the Scarecrow, and they need to do the backstory on him, because I think Scarecrow would be an amazing backstory, like kind of character building on that.
Yeah. I mean, you could run rampant with any of the villains from the Batman series or the comics, right? You have Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, Scarecrow, like Bane. I mean, there are so many of them that they could run with. And I don't know if they're afraid to touch them, but then they go so far with like the Joker and then the new Batman. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they go way left of what we're used to. So why are you afraid to touch these other ones? I mean, the Penguin, God, I would love Danny DeVito as the Penguin was probably my favorite things. Like you could build upon that so much. You might have one or two movies just from the Penguin.
Oh yeah, I know. Like look at Suicide Squad. That's like after, her, Harley Quinn and Joker kind of, I wouldn't say split up or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I like Suicide Squad.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was decent.
I
haven't watched the second one.
Yeah, you haven't watched the second one?
No.
It's okay. I'm not saying it's okay,
We'll put it on the list. We'll try to watch it.
But like I like the character building, like how she ended up being insane, fell in love with the Joker, and like all that stuff. I think I'm at the age like we grew up with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like finding out the backstories on why they got to that stuff. I think that's just the way my brain works.
Yeah, you introduced me to the Kool-Aid. Now show me how the Kool-Aid was made. Because I already like
Yes.
it. Show me how you got there.
I agree. Cause like, I mean, I love the spin-offs. A lot of people don't like the spin-offs of Star Wars. I mean, I'm just saying I'm not a big fan of the newer Rise of Skywalker stuff, but it was still decent.
Mm-hmm.
It was decent. I wouldn't say, it was better than, 1 through 6.
Sure. Sure.
But I'm going to say I like the character building of like was it Django
Mm-hmm.
and Boba Fett and all that, and like the Mandalorians. 100% dig that, and Obi-Wan on like what he did before he actually grew up, how he became that crazy old man walking around in a robe.
Right. I mean, you could even take it back as far as the Avengers series in general, because you have all the spin-offs too. You don't even just have the Avengers movies. You have Iron Man, you have Captain America, you have Guardians of the
Black Widow.
Galaxy, Black Widow, you have Black Panther, you have all of these spin-off movies that give you the backstory, and then it collectively comes together in the main series. Thor. God, I forgot about Thor. Like, they come into the main series. Like, that's, I'm not saying that DC's better than Marvel. Gosh, I'm not trying to start that debate. I'm just saying that strategy of putting those movies together is what I wish that like Batman would do. Because take me back to my childhood. I want to see that torn apart and rebuild for me. Please, please, I'll pay money.
Right. I mean, DC and Marvel, I mean, we all know that's an argument.
Yep.
No matter where you stand on it.
For sure.
Me collectively, I'm right in the middle. They both have what they have. Like, yeah, you got Iron Man on one side, but DC has fucking Superman.
Right. Right.
Like, I'm sorry, if they ever clash, Superman, might end up whooping their ass, even though they might come up with a different plan, and next smashes Superman. You never know. Or Tony Stark whipping up a little secret of his own version of kryptonite.
Yeah, or he'll just bring the Hulk out and be like, "You tiny puny demigod."
Right. Like he did Loki. That was still the funniest thing ever. Puny god. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
But the backstories that DC could get into, like I think they're going on the right route.
For sure.
But I'm gonna give Joker the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
And I just think they could have done a lot better with that.
I think so. And it could be, they haven't done this before.
But they
now they're trying to figure it out. Right. Yeah, you can't change it now. Whoopsies.
I mean, we've had 4 different Jokers?
Right. The Joker's the Joker. Like that's the thing. Like you're locked into some sort of game plan. You have this set of parameters that you can't change too much. You could take a different look at it, but you're not going to make the Joker some nice guy. It's just not going to happen. But I am curious to see what other people's takes are on it. But I'm advocating, and maybe we'll get a petition out, that I want to see Penguin. I want to see Penguin.
Still Danny DeVito. Is he still alive before I start running my mouth?
I'm pretty sure.
Danny DeVito,
I'm
back at it
quickly
again.
Because I don't want you to sound like an idiot. Do you believe he is still alive? Yes. Look at that. 1 for 2.
I honestly thought Kimbo Slice would just kind of living his life.
Nope. He unfortunately is not. It's not.
6 feet under.
Yeah, right? Right.
He's boxing all the demons down in hell.
You probably right.
Bare knuckle.
Keeping them back. Yeah. Right. I can only imagine that. That's probably like a mural on some boxing club wall somewhere.
Dude, that would be an awesome tattoo.
Oh, great. That's the next thing we're going to see in the Discord is Flinty with a Kimbo Slice fighting the devil tattoo.
Believe it or not, if anybody else steals my idea, I swear we're going to fight. But I'm going to end up getting sleeves. I'm going to start working on getting my sleeves done.
Oh, nice.
And Dante's Inferno and the 13th, what is it, 13th Chapel?
Yes.
I'm going to get, the battle between heaven and hell, basically, that every human fights.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get that just, how do I want to say it, muralized on my body.
Muralized. I think you just made up a word.
I patented it. Let's do it. I'm patenting it.
Hold on. Muralized. To paint a mural on large surface, such as a building or wall. Okay, well.
I'm built like a wall.
Right, okay. I'm
But
proud of you that you didn't make the word up.
I swear I heard it before.
I heard the words before.
But, like, I just think it'd be a good idea because, like, some of the music, like, you and I both have very bipolar
Oh, yeah.
playlists.
Oh, yeah.
Lately I've been sticking to a lot of death metal. I've been listening to Lorna Shore.
Okay.
I know it's probably not your cup of tea.
No, I didn't even get the cup out.
But some of their music is very poetic if you actually listen to it.
Sure.
Will Ramos is the lead singer or vocalist for that band, and he is 24. In my opinion, yeah. Yeah, and he has so much range. He could actually sing, like actually sing.
Huh.
And it's phenomenal because like my all-time favorite band, Sleep Token,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of shocked whenever they took off on TikTok. But I think you honestly should check out Sleep Token because they're not heavy and they are actually really good.
Sleep Token. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, I'll check
Sleep
them out.
Token. They I don't know how much time you spent on TikTok. I know you probably TikTok. I think I've asked you that before.
Yeah.
But everybody knows it as like the baby making metal music.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
So you're telling me I could turn it on and serenade Mrs. Dado from across the room?
I could give you one song, and it probably will.
Might have to take you up on that.
But I mean, I just give it a listen, and we'll come back to it. Yeah. And if you end up hooked on it, just thank me later.
Thank you later. Yeah, and you're right. I'll listen to anything. I mean, our playlists are so all over the place. I'll listen to anything. I will say that sometimes I cut the line off of being screamed at, so that is one of my turnoffs. Or classical music that puts me to sleep. Then you lost Dado. Anything in between, you got me. Sold. I'll listen to it. We could be listening to Jamaican reggae and then go all the way over to Korn, all the way down to Waylon Jennings, all the way up to Katy Perry. I mean, we could be all over the place. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I mean, last night during your stream, I was listening to David Bowie.
Right.
And then the song following after that, it was "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus. And I'm 30 freaking years old. And I still jam out to it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's still a bop, man. It's still a bop.
Yeah. I mean, just I'm absolutely in love with music.
Oh, me too. It's a critical part of my life. Critical part.
Dude, I have to listen to music at least a couple hours out of the day.
For sure. That's why there's a whole music that you're listening to channel inside the Dado's House Discord, because I love music so much and want to see what you guys are listening to, because I want to expound my horizons of music.
And that was a mixture of explore and expand.
Yeah. Yes. That is a word, I promise. You can look it up.
I mean, I could start filling it up with more because, like,
Oh, absolutely.
my Apple Music, I have over 7,000 songs downloaded.
Holy cow.
Yeah. If you're in like a mood, just want to try to focus, I got a playlist for that.
Sure.
Like if you're trying to get some hardcore work done, like anytime I do, we call it Target Solutions. It's our online training.
Yep.
Worst thing ever existing. Just to let you know, just
Okay.
terrible. Some of these courses are like 2-3 hours long, and you just have to sit there and let somebody just talk terrible. Just they put you to sleep.
Monotone as shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just turn on subtitles and then you play Papadosio, which is a band. Like all they do is instrumental.
I was gonna say it sounded like a German rock band, but I guess not.
No, it's very electrical. Like it's really good and upbeat, and it just takes your mind and relaxes it. And like to me, it helps me focus.
Yeah, I'm down. I love music. Music, like it's just it's an escape. It's an emotion. It can do so many things, and just without you having to really do anything except listen.
Yep, I am all about the serotonin
Oh yeah.
release, and that's what music does to me. It doesn't matter what mood I'm in. There's music for that mood, and like Polyphia, dude,
Mhm.
the guitarist, if I can find my word, the guitarist is like 20 years old, and he could put to shame.
Hmm. Wow. It's crazy
The
what's
th-
out there.
there are hidden gems, and then TikTok. Don't me get started on TikTok. I'm a huge fan of Suicide Boys. I would have
Suicide
never found
Boys.
them. Yep, I am a huge fan of them, all because I listened to one of their songs on TikTok.
Who is this? Oh, I had to Google. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah,
yep,
I mean, it's the same concept. It's just how people are getting their what they like out there in different ways. And you know, like you said, there's music for every emotion that you're going through, happy, sad, angry, whatever it may be. There's some song out there that can probably express your emotions for you. And I guess that's for me. I've always struggled with expressing my emotions verbally to my partner or people. Um to where I always just be like, hey, listen to this song and you'll kind of get where I'm at, because somebody was able to put it down and make some type of melody out of it or whatever. Um, so yeah,
yeah.
music
I feel
is
the same way. I feel the same way about that, man. Like, I mean, back in high school, anytime we got in each other's cars or whatever, we knew what type of
oh
mood
yeah,
or what type of day we're
oh yeah,
just by getting in the truck. Like,
100%.
we knew it was going to be a good day whenever I brought out the Redneck Soldiers and
Yeah,
Mud Jug.
we about to go f something up. Let me tell you
Eh,
what.
oh, dude, that was our weekend shit right there.
Hmm.
Listening to it now, that I'm older, I cringe a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, I
Sure,
thought
yeah.
this was. I was like, oh, I actually thought this was actually good.
And I thought I was cool when I listened to this. What the shit?
Yeah, like like every now and again, I do listen to Redneck Soldiers because they've branched out a good bit, or the Lax.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
But
I even listened to like some of the country songs that we listened to back then. I'm like, oh my God, that is just fucking trash. That is trash.
I'm going out with no pants. Like what the like like it's yesterday that I thought I think I was sitting at the family computer at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the desk was. You've been in the
Yep.
house before, and I just remember sitting there with my headphones on, and I was like, you know what? This is going to be the shit in the truck.
Yep.
I'm going to get so many bitches listening to this. And it
so
was
true.
The whitest redneck version of Black and Yellow.
Oh my
from
God.
Kid Cudi? I thought it was green and yellow. I'm like, dude, I thought that was the shit right there. Like that was it. It was the banger.
We're gonna roll the windows down in the truck and pick up the bitches. That's wow. Check this out, ladies. Look what we found on LimeWire.
Dude, I fucked the computer up.
We all did. Every single one of us did.
Oh man, I just put it in YouTube. I'm gonna listen to it after the podcast. Just I have to now. But I mean, you and I have known each other for fucking a decade.
14 years.
Over a decade, and music has changed so much. But I agree with you. I couldn't agree with more on like the expression. I mean, you've known me. You probably know me better than a lot of people, and I don't express a lot other than anger sometimes.
That's the one I always know. That's the vocal one. Yep.
I use fuck as an adjective.
And a noun and a verb.
It's a very versatile word. It's a sentence and answer.
Yeah.
And but every time like I had a hard time expressing something, I'm always like, I got a song for this. I need you to listen to this and feel it the way I do, and then you understand.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And the crazy thing is that as I get older, and I guess that me personally, I'm in an amazing relationship that you can like, when I went through my divorce, we'll just put it in general terms there were songs that would hit you in the heart. Like you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, there's
it just tears you apart, right? But now, many years later, I can listen to them and go, I get it. I get why it was. Still a good song, but it doesn't affect me the same way. So it's crazy how music can change for you over time.
Because, dude, a lot of people feel those lyrics.
Oh, for sure.
And like, I just now recently started able to listening to My Boy. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Say it one
It's
more
by
time. You broke
The
up.
Boy.
Okay.
Or My Boy.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yep, I know what song you're talking about.
Elvin Shane.
Mm-hmm.
That one, or The Man Who Hung the Moon by
Sure.
Brantley Gilbert. I just now started listening to that because of everything I went through.
Right.
And like just talking about it, like my eyes are tearing up a little bit just because of what the meaning behind those songs are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like that's a power. Those two are the most powerful songs to me.
Sure. Yeah, there's songs that come on in the car and I skip them, and Mrs. Dale's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't ask."
Yeah.
Don't ask. We put that box of emotions way back in the closet. We're not pulling it out. We're not opening the tape. It's secured in the closet. We're not doing it. We're not opening that box.
Yeah, I was not like promoting this place at all, but I text on BetterHelp.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure people seen the ads and stuff, because
100%.
I'm not a big going in person therapy type of person.
Yeah.
But you know, first responder, and Mikey knows my past.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to people, and I have like basically what you just said was you put it in a box and you lock it away.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like think about it as this, like I've talked to my sister about it. I've talked to the therapist about this, and there's a thing in the back of your brain, and mine is labeled the fuck it box.
Sure.
Because that's the stuff that's going to stop me from pursuing what I'm.
Yep.
So I chuck it in the fuck it bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep rolling. But there's these songs, man, that just let it crack open.
Oh yeah, they bring that effort bucket to the front of the stage and they put a spotlight on it, and you're the only one in the theater. It's really odd how they do that. I give those people credit. They suck because they do that to you, but they give them
like
credit.
Brantley Gilbert and that freaking man who that is front line and like like holy cow.
Oh, for sure. And I appreciate Flinty being vulnerable enough to say that he uses BetterHelp, and we are not sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, if they called us and said, "Hey, would you
I'm
not going to turn them away,
but I'll speak highly of them.
But
if you go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. It's Flinty being vulnerable. I've gone through therapy when I went through my challenges in my life. And one thing that I learned going through that is that it's okay. It's not something to be embarrassed of. The fact that you, as a person, can recognize that you can't handle it. I guess handle it's a wrong way. I apologize. That you can't tackle that challenge on your own and asking for help, that is a measure of a person. I'll tell you what, that you are asking for help is a measure of a person, to know that you're not able to conquer that without the strength or guidance or tools to be able to do it. And you see that, it's amazing. Never let that stop you. Never, ever let that stop you.
Whenever you feel like your back is against that wall and no one's there, there's someone there.
Every time.
Every time. I damn near crippled one of the best friendships I've ever had. I've ran from problems. I've tried to run away from what's going on in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And the second that something happened that changed my mind and made me think a better way that you're not alone.
Nope.
You're not, because I picked the phone call up and called the person that I'm talking to in this podcast.
Yep. 100%.
Didn't hesitate. It was 2:00 in the morning. He did not hesitate to wake up and talk to me.
Nope. Never. And never will. And
at that time, I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. At that time, he was not a fan of me at that time.
Shit happens. Stuff happened in our life, but that it still doesn't mean that I wouldn't be there for my brother. And the same thing goes, I know Flinty mentioned it, I think it was episode number 1. If you're in a stream of mine or you see Flinty and I in somebody else's stream, know that if you need to talk to somebody, please, we're here. Come join us on the podcast and hang out for a little bit. Get your mind off of it. Come hang out in Dado's House Discord or the streams, or shoot us a DM or find us on Instagram or whatever. I mean, we love to hang out with you, and you're not alone. You're
trust me,
alone.
I love making that Discord. Just I keep it popping.
Oh yeah. Sometimes too much. I'll be sitting in some really important meetings at work, and him and Gabs just you got Jesus. Give these boys strength.
It's mental health is no joke, and men's mental health is severely overlooked.
100%.
Because we're always shut up, deal with it, man
pull
up,
your bootstraps, go.
Yep, and just keep pushing forward. I mean, yes, we do. I'm not saying to pussyfy yourself. I am saying we all get that feeling of that, the pain in your chest, world spinning out of control. And believe it or not, it is okay to feel that way.
Yep. And
It's not going to come to an end.
Having a good friend or a therapist or somebody that you can sit down and talk to openly and say those things. And there's a person that I follow, and he will come up multiple times in this podcast, I promise. His name is Simon Sinek, and he is an optimist for businesses and growing of people and teams. And the one thing that he challenges everybody on is trying to find your why. I'm not going to go into that in depth, but one of those things in finding your why is sitting down with your friend, and the friend that'll sit there and tell you that you're an idiot. And
oh
why.
Man, we've had those conversations.
And those might not be the conversations that you want to have, but those are some of the best conversations to have. The objective, hey man, I hear you. I'm really sorry, but let's think about this a different way. Those are hard. Those are absolutely hard. But Simon Sinek, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, oh my gosh, give that dude a listen. He's great.
Other than Behind the Mics podcast.
Yes, or between the
podcasts. I had a brain fart. My mind was on something else.
Yes. And, if you haven't caught episode 1 through 3, please make sure you go back and catch those. We love hanging out with you guys. Flinty, it's been a complete joy. I am curious, after the 12th, we're going to see what your thoughts are on episode number 1 of Fallout, the TV show. And I'm going to give Sleep Token a listen. And we'll come back and we'll talk about it in a future episode. But with that, guys, we appreciate you hanging out with us in episode number 4. We'll catch you in the next one. Love you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.